Imagine you've just signed the paperwork for a brand new RV, price tag around $120,000. A complete home on wheels, the open road dream. You drive it off the dealership lot, and just a few weeks later, you discover water leaking inside the walls. Sounds like a rare horror story? Not exactly. An investigation by the Wall Street Journal found that some RVs were already leaking water while still sitting on dealership lots. In many cases, dealers had to fix the defects before customers even picked up the keys. Meanwhile, complaint data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration shows something even more troubling. RV owners file an unusually high number of quality complaints compared with products in the same price range. So what's really going on? Why would a vehicle that costs $80,000, $120,000, even $200,000 be assembled in a way that turns it into a repair nightmare? In this video, we're going to tear apart how the RV industry actually works and the factory decisions that can turn your $120,000 RV into a maintenance disaster. And more importantly, I'll share the 10-year rule that many experienced RV buyers use to avoid becoming the next victim of this industry. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the RV industry in the United States experienced an unprecedented boom. According to data from the RV Industry Association, in 2020, more than 430,000 RVs were shipped from factories. By 2021, that number jumped to 600,240 units, the highest level in the history of the industry. What's remarkable is the speed of that growth. In just 1 year, RV sales increased by nearly 40%. The reason was fairly simple. During lockdowns, many Americans avoided airplanes, hotels, and crowded resorts. Instead, they turned to RVs as a safer way to travel, a private bubble on wheels. You could drive across the country, sleep in your own vehicle, and avoid crowds altogether. But this boom also created enormous pressure on RV factories. Investigations by the Wall Street Journal and Business Insider found that many factories began to run continuous overtime shifts, hire large numbers of inexperienced workers, and speed up assembly lines to keep up with demand. Some workers interviewed said they received only a few days of training before being placed directly on the production line. And when an entire industry is forced to move that fast, quality is usually the first thing to suffer, because the problem isn't just a few careless mistakes. In many cases, it's built into the way the production system itself operates. And the first secret begins with how the workers are paid. Secret number 1, the downward spiral. Piece rate pay in Elkhart, Indiana. The RV manufacturing capital of America, many factories use a pay system known as piece rate pay. Here is what that means. Workers aren't paid by the hour. They're paid by how many RVs get finished. The more units that roll off the line, the more money they make. According to labor reports cited by ProPublica in the Wall Street Journal, a production crew can earn about $400 to $500 for each RV they complete, which creates a powerful incentive. The faster they work leads to the more RVs get built, leads to the more money they take home. And the result? Some RVs move through the assembly line in just 6 to 8 hours. Secret number 2, the illusion of choice. At first glance, the RV market looks incredibly competitive. But according to market share data from the RV Dealers Association and Statistical Surveys, Inc., the North American RV industry is actually an oligopoly. On the surface, you see dozens of brands: Airstream, Jayco, Keystone, RV Tiffin, Motorhomes, Rockwood, RV. But behind many of those brands, there are really just two massive corporations. Thor Industries controls roughly 40 to 48% of the market. Forest River controls about 30 to 33%. Over the past 2 decades, these two companies have acquired dozens of smaller manufacturers. The result? What looks like a competitive marketplace is often just a network of brands owned by the same few corporations. At the same time, according to the RV Industry Association, more than 80% of all RVs in the United States are built in a single region, Elkhart County. This area is often called the RV capital of the world, which creates an incredibly concentrated manufacturing ecosystem. Secret number 3, The sandwich wall risk. Most modern RVs are built using what manufacturers call a sandwich wall design. On the outside, fiberglass. Inside, foam insulation. And in the middle, a very thin layer of plywood called luan. It's extremely cheap, but it has one fatal weakness. It doesn't tolerate water. All it takes is a small crack in the roof seal. Water begins to seep into the wall. At first, you won't notice anything. But inside, the luan plywood starts absorbing moisture. The adhesive begins to fail. The wood slowly rots. And then one day, the fiberglass on the outside starts to bubble and separate from the wall. In the RV industry, this problem has a name: delamination. And once it starts, the bad news is it's almost impossible to repair properly. Many RV repair centers say fixing delamination often requires removing an entire section of the wall. The cost can reach $10,000, even $20,000. Consumer Reports has also warned that water intrusion is one of the most common causes of RV damage. On the major RV forum IRV2, one owner of a Keystone Bullet shared that after just 3 years, the sidewall of the RV began to bulge outward. When technicians inspected it, they discovered water had leaked through the roof and destroyed the luan layer inside the wall. The diagnosis was simple: delamination. The repair estimate came back close to half the value of the RV. A vehicle that originally cost nearly $80,000 suddenly became an asset that was extremely difficult to resell. And that's when many RV owners discover something the advertisements never mention. A tiny water leak can turn an $80,000 RV into a massive financial loss. Secret number 4. The dealer is the real quality control. A modern car can go through hundreds of quality checks before leaving the factory. Major automakers like Toyota and Ford Motor Company use multi-layer inspection systems, including component checks on the assembly line, electronic system, diagnostics, water leak testing. But with RVs, the process is often much simpler. Investigations by ProPublica in the Wall Street Journal found that many RV factories perform only a basic inspection at the end of the production line before the vehicle is shipped out. After that, the RV is sent to the dealer, and that's where another critical step begins: dealer inspection. In the RV industry, this step is called PDI, pre-delivery inspection. According to the RV Dealers Association, a thorough PDI can take 3 to 5 hours for a single RV. During this inspection, the dealer is supposed to check the electrical systems, water leaks, the propane system, slide-out mechanisms, interior appliances and fixtures. But here's the striking part. Many dealers report that they regularly find dozens of small defects on brand new RVs straight from the factory. On the RV Technician Forum IRV2, service staff say that finding 20 to 50 minor issues on a new RV is not unusual. And that's why there's a famous saying in the RV industry: the customer is the final quality control. In other words, the person who ultimately discovers the defects is not the factory, not the dealer. It's the customer, the one who just paid $80,000, $120,000, even $200,000 for that RV. But this still isn't the biggest trap. The real problem begins after your RV breaks down, because repairing an RV is very different from repairing a car. When an RV has a defect, the dealer usually can't fix it immediately. Instead, they have to go through a fairly complex process. First, the dealer must photograph the defect and send a report to the manufacturer. Then they have to wait for the factory to approve the warranty claim. Once the claim is approved, the next step is ordering replacement parts. And this is where the real problem often begins. Many RV components are produced by third-party suppliers, and waiting for those parts can take months. According to multiple RV service centers in the United States, typical repair wait times can reach 3 to 6 months. During that time, your RV often just sits in a repair lot or dealer yard, but your bills don't stop. You still have to keep paying for your loan payments, insurance, storage fees, and other ongoing costs. In other words, you're making monthly payments for an RV that you can't even use. And that's when many RV owners realize something important. The problem with this industry isn't just low build quality. It's that the entire repair and warranty system is often slow, complicated, and incredibly frustrating. If you want to avoid costly mistakes in the RV industry, many experienced buyers tend to follow three common strategies. 1. Buy an RV built before the brand was acquired. One of the most famous examples is Tiffin Motorhomes. Before the company was acquired by Thor Industries in 2020, Tiffin was widely considered one of the highest quality RV manufacturers in the United States. Models like Tiffin Allegro Bus, 2016 to 2019. Tiffin Phaeton earned strong reputations among RV owners for several reasons. Freightliner chassis, or Tiffin's own Powerglide chassis, real wood interiors instead of laminated panels, hands-on quality inspections. According to discussions in RV communities like IRV2 and RV Forum, many Allegro bus units have surpassed 150,000 to 200,000 miles while still running well with basic maintenance. Meanwhile, a brand new diesel RV today can easily cost $300,000 to $500,000 and still develop problems within the first year. That's why a 2017 to 2019 Tiffin, often priced around $120,000 to $180,000, is sometimes considered a much safer buy. 2. Choose a small manufacturer that sells directly. A well-known example is Lazy Days RV. Unlike large RV corporations, Lazy Days follows a very different business model. No dealer network, direct sales from the factory in California, extremely limited production. According to company data, Lazy Days produces only about 200 to 300 RVs per year. By comparison, major corporations can produce 50,000 to 70,000 RVs annually. That difference matters. Large RV assembly lines may allow only 2 to 4 hours to complete a unit. Smaller manufacturers, on the other hand, can spend 20 to 40 hours inspecting and finishing the interior of a single RV. Lazy Days has also built a reputation for using thick aluminum frames, one-piece aluminum roofs, minimal use of cheap composite materials. Many owners report their Lazy Days RVs still running well after 15 to 20 years of use. 3. The little-known option? 25-year-old Japanese campers. This strategy has quietly become very popular in some RV communities. Under U.S. import laws, vehicles that are 25 years old or older can be legally imported from overseas. That opens the door to a fascinating market: Japanese camper vans. Popular models include Toyota Hiace camper conversions, Toyota Camroad motorhomes, Nissan Caravan campers. The appeal is simple. In Japan, every vehicle must pass an extremely strict inspection program called Shaken. The inspection can cost $1,000 to $2,000 each time and must be completed every 2 years. Because of that system, many Japanese owners maintain their vehicles meticulously. Many 25-year-old campers have only 50,000 to 80,000 kilometers on the odometer. Today, importing a Japanese camper into the United States typically costs $20,000 to $30,000. Compare that to a new American RV, which can range from $120,000 to $250,000. And that's why more and more American buyers are starting to explore this market. After everything we've just seen about the RV industry, there's one simple rule every buyer should remember. Don't buy an RV based on the brand. Buy it based on how it's built. Because in today's RV industry, many different brands are actually owned by the same few corporations. So when you walk onto an RV dealership lot, remember this: the more marketing you see, the more questions you should ask. Before you buy, always ask 4 things. 1. Where was this RV built? 2. What materials are used for the walls and roof? 3. Does the dealer perform a full PDI inspection before delivery? 4. How long is the manufacturer's warranty against water leaks? If the dealer can't clearly answer those questions, there's a good chance that RV was designed to sell quickly, not to last on the road. Discovered water had leaked through the roof and destroyed the Luan layer inside the wall. The diagnosis was simple: delamination. The repair estimate came back close to half the value of the RV. A vehicle that originally cost nearly $80,000 suddenly became an asset that was extremely difficult to resell. And that's when many RV buy owners discover something the advertisements never mention. A tiny water leak can turn an $80,000 RV into a massive financial loss. Secret number 4. The dealer is the real quality control. A modern car can go through hundreds of quality checks before leaving the factory. Major automakers like Toyota and Ford Motor Company use multi-layer inspection systems, including component checks on the assembly line, electronic system, diagnostic